Good afternoon. Welcome to today's Facebook Live. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in the county of Northamptonshire, right in the centre of the UK. So thank you so much for joining me if you're joining me live this afternoon. If you're watching me on catch up, then I appreciate you joining me then. Feel free to add any comments after, and I will check through and reply if it requires a reply. Hi to you, Linda. Hi, Molly from Germany. Hi, Katie. Thanks so much for joining me this afternoon. So I decided this week I am going to feature this stamp set, Prized Peony, and also the die cuts as my stamp set of the week, which means each day I will feature this stamp set and all the papers or the dies in some way, shape or form, doing something different each day. So yesterday, in the main, we used the papers. So this is all I have left of my pack of papers, so it's getting diminished by the day. Hopefully, I'm sure there'll be enough for the rest of the week. Fingers crossed. So the papers are really pretty. It's petal pink, white, grey granite and basic grey. If I just turn the reverse of that over, you've got the different shades of grey. You've got some marble, some petal pink. As I say, this is not all of the sheets, this is just what I have left. So because it's my featured stamp set of the week, if you order the stamp set this week, you will get 6 A6 pieces of these papers so that you can create up to 6 cards. If you order the bundle, you'll get the 6 papers plus cards and envelopes. Okay, just my little way of saying thank you for supporting my stamp set of the week. So yesterday we featured the papers in the main. This was the first card I made. Just put the paper on the background. I took one of our stitch dies, stamped this flower here in grey granite, top and bottom, added the sentiment, love and thanks to a dear friend, in the middle, and I added some ribbon on. This is the lovely metallic ribbon, which is very soft and fine, so it doesn't add any bulk to that, and stamped the flower on the inside. And then the other card I made was this one, using the Petal Pink Blends pen to colour in some of the flowers. You could of course colour in the whole of the background. I just wanted to do a little bit. I've added the highlights there with the new gems, and then I've added a petal pink layer here for my sentiment. And for this sentiment I've used My Thoughts Are With You, again from the stamp set, and there I've got the little flower on the inside. So those were yesterday's. If you missed that, you can watch it on catch up on my Facebook page. You can just click on all the videos and that will take you in turn, or you can go to my YouTube channel and see it on there, whichever your preference is. Okay. Oh, bless you, Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Silla. Hi, Claire. Oh, you're back, Molly. Gosh, that was quick. I'm glad you had a good time. So today's inspiration, let me show you, actually comes from the catalogue. If ever you're short of ideas and you have bought a stamp set, please look through the catalogue for ideas, because these change each catalogue. So the one I'm going to do today is similar to this one here, which is using the paper but actually colouring the background, not the flowers themselves, in this case obviously peonies. They used a black die cut and embossed in white, but in fact I'm going to do something slightly different. So that's on page 84 if you want to see it in detail on the catalogue. So I wanted to see what it would look like. So here's my preview version. This is using Seaside Spray. It's not quite the same papers because I didn't have enough of that left. So it's another one of the papers. And all I've done is coloured in the background. I've used a Seaside Spray card, grey granite behind. And then if you've been watching me recently, we had these little sets of dies that belong to the Have a Hoot bundle, which are the ones with the little owls, and these layer together really nicely. So this is the middle sized and the large, and then I matched it with the lovely Seaside Spray ribbon just tied up together. The hole in the tag is already done for you. Got one here to show you, and that's from the Have a Hoot dies. And Molly, I've got yours here for you. Okay, so I'm going to recreate this one using Highland Heather today. So let me put that to one side. So again, it is just using the papers. Hi Jill. Hi Carol with an E. So what I've done is I've cut a piece of my designer paper to 9 centimeters by 14.35, sorry, 13.85, because I'm going to have a layer behind it. So let me show you the layers. So I have pre-cut these just to save time. So these are the layers from the Have a Hoot dies that cut out in one go. Obviously I've cut it twice, one in each colour. Here's a piece of my paper. I've got a white layer and a Highland Heather layer, like so. Okay, now the eagle-eyed of you will spot that little bit in there, and that's because I was using a strip before I cut it down. I was using a strip to see what the colours look like. So this is Purple Posy and this is Highland Heather, so you could use either. I felt that as I was using Highland Heather base, that would look better. And then I cut these pieces down, so I have 2 pieces that are the same, so I might as well use that one that's got a mark on it already. Let me pop these out of the way for the moment. Oh, hi Brenda. Thanks for joining us. So, if I put this one here, you can see that's what we're aiming to do. Hopefully you can see that okay. And I've got my light Highland Heather pen. And so all I'm going to do is colour in this background, and there's quite a lot of white, so I do apologise. I'm going to use the wider end just to save some time, really. And all I'm going to do is literally just run my pen around. So a bit like we're doing the colouring, but not actually doing any colouring of the flowers. All we're doing is creating a different colour background. Now I think this would be stunning in any colour. 2 colours I'd like to try. One would be Night of Navy, and then the other would be Mango Melody. So if I have enough space, pieces of paper left, I might give those a go. I might have to do them as small cards because of what I've got left until my new pack arrives. As I say, if you order the stamp set, then you'll get 6 different pieces of the peony papers to get you started. So this will lighten up as it goes. You can already see that this was the area I pre-covered, and then as you add it in it looks darker. That's just because it's wet. So this works obviously particularly well with a black and white or grey and white papers. It doesn't matter if you go over a little bit, because you could use your little tag to cover up any blemishes. Okay, so the nice thing is you could decide where your tag is going to go after you've done all of your colouring elements. So I apologise that this might be a little bit boring for you watching me do this. So I'm just picking out the odd bits of white. Some are easier than others. And if you've got an odd bit that you think, well, actually that looks strange, you can just colour that bit in. Nobody's going to know. So as I say, this is inspired purely by the catalogue. And tomorrow I'm going to introduce the actual dies to cut out some of the coloured flowers. So a bit more time consuming than just colouring the flowers maybe, and you could choose your paper quite wisely. So for example, this one here has actually very little white space. Okay, this one has a lot of white space. Okay, so depending on how much you want to colour, how much time you've got, you could sit and colour in the whole thing. I would probably cut it into pieces and then colour them a bit at a time. Otherwise it would be my luck that I dropped, I don't know, an ink pad on it, or the cat walked over it just when I got to the critical part. As I say, you can sort of pick out the bits that you want. If you've got some tiny little bits, you could just go over those. Just really be as artistic as you want. And I say, I'm using the wider tip just to cover a bigger area. And you can see how that colour is blending into the paper. Tiny little bit in there. So I hope you have nicer weather wherever you are today. Hi Carol. Hi Kim. It's lovely here, absolutely beautiful blue sky with just clouds that hop over so often and then disappear. So I'm pleased to say we've had no rain here today. So as I say, you could be as experimental as you wanted with this. So on my one here, I use Seaside Spray. I'm not quite sure what they use in the catalogue, I'll have to look that up. But this is certainly a beautiful stamp set, beautiful papers as well. And when you've had enough of peonies on this side, then you could use the reverse side, which in the main is greys, as backgrounds for men's cards. So when you've really had enough of peonies, that's what you could do. Obviously the artists at Stampin' Up are extremely talented. Okay, so I've got a few gaps in here I can fill out. There's nothing to stop you colouring the flowers as well if you wanted to. Right, I think I've got everything there that I need. Oh, here's one. You're probably saying, you missed one. It's usually Carol shouting at the screen, isn't it, Carol? That's Carol without an E. Okay, so you can see the effect. So this one's slightly darker. This is the same papers. Okay, so this is slightly darker. It will dry slightly lighter. So what I'm going to do is make the little tag up that's going to go onto here. And I actually decided I'm going to do this as a birthday card for one of my my nephews. It's their wife's birthday in a couple of days' time. So I'm actually going to do It's Your Day in Highland Heather, which I need to grab. Or I might do it in Gorgeous Grape. I'm actually going to do it in Gorgeous Grape, I think. Let me see how it stamps. Yep, that will work nicely. It's Your Day. And I think I might stamp this one as well. Slight change of plan. I'm going to stamp it, instead of changing colours, I'm just going to stamp it second generation. So I'm going to stamp once, and then it's the lighter one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to stamp it once, bring this in, stamp that there. So this is the smallest of the 3 flowers in the set. How pretty is that? And while I'm there, I'm going to stamp that on the inside as well. And then I'll write my happy birthday sentiment inside. Okay. Wipe that off. Hi, Jane. Okay. So I have a white layer which is going to go behind. I tried the grey, but it really didn't go. It didn't lift it in any way. So I decided to put the white first and then onto the Highland Heather. So you'll be pleased to hear I found my seal that I was hunting for. So I'm going to use that. 1, 2, 3. Pop that onto my white layer. Now, even if you've got to this point, you think, oh, I want to tidy that up a little bit, you can go back in and add it. It's not a problem at all. And then this is going to go onto my Highland Heather base. A little bit in the middle, like so. My mum would like this. She loves purples, so this would be up her street as well. Glue there. Okay, so for my little tag, I've stamped that on the white layer. I've got a Highland Heather layer behind it, and of course I have that lovely trio ribbon. So it's called Tricolour ribbon with the 3 purples. So it's got the gorgeous grape, purple posy, and then Highland Heather in the middle. So I'm just going to do something similar to my sample and just fold that through. I'm going to put these together, and I think I'm going to pop that up on a couple of dimensionals just to give it a bit of interest. Hi Wendy, hi Pat, hi Vivian. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Vivian. I can show you the ink pad if you would like me to. So I'm just going to pop 4 of these on here. So those who've joined me since the start, I'm using our prized Peony papers and stamp set. This is actually from Itty Bitty Birthdays, the It's Your Day. I'll just take those pieces off. My next order goes in the next couple of days, Brenda, my darling, if that helps you. So my class in the box order's all gone in, and that's, I think that should be, well, I know it was in picking yesterday. Okay, so I'm just going to thread that through like that. And then rather than doing a knot, what I do like to do is just tie a little bit of baker's twine around to keep it nice and flat, and also you get to see obviously both sides of the ribbon. So I have some baker's twine here, just need a little length of that. So I've just threaded that through. And I say, rather than knot it, all I do is place that down, and then, and I'm sorry my fingers are in the way, but tie a knot with the baker's twine, like so. Bring it down if you need to, like that. And I just pull it fairly tight and tie another knot, just to hold it in place, like so. Then you can sort of primp this up as you wish, and then if you want, with this piece here, you can tie a little bow for decoration, which is what I've done here. So it's purely decoration, if I've left enough length. There we go. Put that round a little bit. Pull the legs out. Make my little bird bit smaller, like so. And trim these. So you could use any twine. If you've got, you know, baker's twine in white or something, that would also work. It's just a nicer way to get the ribbon to hold, especially where you have something like this where it's quite thick, and if you tied a knot in it or if you thread it through double, you make a real a great amount of thickness here, whereas this is just quite thin. Okay, so all I've got to decide is where I want to put that on my card. So the reason I put this one down here on the right was so that I had space for the bits of ribbon. So obviously you could cut those down and have it further up if you wanted to. I might cut them down a little bit. Time to sharpen my scissors again, I fear. There we go. So that is going to go onto there. So, a couple more dimensionals. Oh, nice, Brenda. Good choice. Good choice. I hope is that a nice birthday treat? If it is, then happy birthday, Brenda. Okay, I'm just using the small ones there because they happen to be the ones I had to hand. Just take the edges off. Sorry, that's not very interesting. Nothing really to show, is there? So I could decide now where I wanted to put that. I could have it part way on. Obviously, if this was an all-round design, I could have it this way. Would look quite nice. You could have a strip of something across. Obviously, this design is a one-way design, the way that the flowers are going up. So I think I might just do it the same, really. Although I do quite like this flower here. What do you think? Higher or lower? I'll let you decide. A birthday treat. How exciting. Happy birthday when it comes round. That's all I can say. That's the same size, isn't it? So high or low for my tag. Hi, Moretta. Low, says Katie. Oops. I think you could be right there. Lower, lower. It's like, what's that game? Oh, I can't remember what it was called now. It did have Bruce Forsyth in it, didn't it? Play your cards right, was it maybe? I don't know. Gotta have that in there. Like so. So there we go. There's my version of that one. I'm just going to try, because I think the Night of Navy might look quite stunning. Now this has got a lot more white space, so I'm not going to do very much of it, but I just wanted to see what it looked like with a dark background, because I think this could be quite stunning. It's almost like, you know, where you heat emboss and add white embossing powder onto a dark background. So I'm just going to do a little panel. I'm not going to, I promise I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing. So I'm using the blends pens because they work really well. It's soaking into the paper. I wouldn't recommend watercolour because the paper won't take the water. You could use watercolour pencils on their own, I guess. And I wouldn't use marker pens because they will they'll have the same effect. So just to see what that little bit would look like. It's quite difficult when you haven't got much design. Let's just do this little bit here. So give this a go on any papers that you've got, where you've got a very light background and where you've got an image that you could frame. Obviously yesterday we did the reverse. We did colouring in of the flowers and leaving the background plain. There we go. Let's do that little bit in there. Okay, so yes, that's quite stunning in its own right. Play your cards right, it was. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, so that's showing you how you could use a really dark colour that would come out. I probably wouldn't do it on this design because there's more dark than there is flower, but you could certainly try it on one of these, and to an extent on this one as well, if you cut the right bit of panel, because you've got these little bits here that you could do. So if you have got a little bit of peony paper left over, especially if you joined my paper share where you had a little bit of everything, then do give that a go, because you only need a small portion to make a decent card backing. So those are for today. Christmas colours, yeah, that's a good idea. Well done, Wendy. Yes, reds and greens behind would be lovely. And these are the ones from yesterday. I am going to add a little bit of bling, I think, to that one, as it's a birthday card, and I'm going to post that this afternoon. So this is from the Noble Peacock, which I know we don't have anymore, I'm sorry to say. But you could colour in your plain rhinestones with your Highland Heather or your Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to put another two on, I think. I need to use them up. There we go. Okay, so I hope you like those. As I say, it comes straight from the catalogue. And it's on page 84. And the sample I think they've used is Pool Party. I can look it up because we do have all of the recipes for all of these cards printed in the magazine. So if ever you're looking at something, wondering how that was done, do ask me. Just tell me what page number it is and what you're looking at, and I can find out what colour something is, or whether they've used the paper or the stamp set. Okay, so that's on page 84. So Peony Garden Suite is my featured set this week. So if you do want to order any of those, I will be ordering in the next couple of days. As I say, you will get some free papers if you order anything from that suite this week. Thank you so much for joining me today. I shall be back tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 AM for a next Facebook Live featuring more of the stamp set tomorrow than the papers. I don't think the papers get a look in tomorrow. It's all about the stamps and the dies. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've got any questions, please do comment and ask. I appreciate you joining me this afternoon. And I hope you take care, look after yourselves, look after your loved ones, stay dry and warm, hopefully at the minute. And I hope you can keep crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you all. Bye-bye.